right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gaze of Our Lives. Like dice through the dice tower. These are the gaze of our lives. We are a group of therapists, educators, and spiritual leaders playing queer tabletop RPGs in order to embrace our identities, build community, and share the magic of playing queer games with other queer people. Gaze of Our Lives streams every other Sunday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We will play queer games with queer characters and then talk about our experience. Want to know how to use games to build space for your queer clients? Check us out as we discuss how each game can benefit the queer communities we work with. So, we're here with episode 2 of Grand Guignol. Before we jump into that, though, I've got announcements. So, here they are. Next Friday, we have, as always, our Friday night cast. We'll be streaming Wander Home. Come follow our journey as we play Wander Home and see how a group of traveling animal folk change with the passing seasons. Wander Home is a game designed by Jay Dragon. We stream every Friday from starting at 9:30 Eastern Time. And then on Saturday, November 6th, we have a special stream, a special Gaze of Our Lives stream. 6th Saturday?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I was like, wait, okay. Right. The 6th. So we're streaming a special stream. We will be streaming Women Are Werewolves, where the Gaze of Our Lives crew will play as non-binary characters in a family where only the women transform into werewolves. Women Are Werewolves is currently in Kickstarter right now with ninth level games, and very exciting. You should go check that out. Our stream on the 6th will also be raising funds for Extra Life, where we will raise funds for a children's hospital in California that has a personal connection to two of our players. So come check us out, help them reach their Extra Life goals. They'll be streaming all weekend. Let's see, what else? Kickstarters. Check out the Kickstarter Chew by Pete Petrucia and Imagining Games. That's still live, I think, for a couple more days. And then we have Our Haunt by Jamila Najati. That is also still live for, I think, 2 or 3 more days. And then, as I mentioned, Women Are Werewolves, which will be around all month. So, we are playing Grand Guignol. This is episode 2. Grand Guignol gives us crooked alleys and foggy canals, charged touches and words left unsaid, extravagant masquerades and faceless crowds, bloody hands and dangerous smiles, and always the darkness without and within whispering, "What are you going to do now?" In Grand Guignol, we play a citizen of London in all its sprawling Victorian glory. Crowds pour in from the countryside as the Industrial Revolution chews through their livelihoods, while in the factories, society, and nature and time itself are brought under control. Predators party with the powerful and prey upon the poor, while whispers echo in the witching hour and unseen eyes watch from the shadows. Amongst it all, we queers and monsters and outsiders try to slay our demons and live our lives. We flirt and bicker, investigate and unwind, tremble and embrace, and hurt and heal one another. And if we're lucky, somewhere between the misty laneways and society's demands, we may learn who we truly are. Grand Guignol is developed by Wildwood Games. They have a second edition coming out soon, I think after the new year. They'll be having a second edition published by Possum Creek Games. So to keep up on that, you're going to want to follow Wildwood Games on Twitter or their itch account, as well as Possum Creek Games for any new updates. Now, Jesse, what happened last time?
Yeah, so here's what we missed last time. We did our character creation and we introduced our players. We have Persephone the Gate, Kavi the Scholar, Ezra the Beast, Baako the Hunter. And in our London, which is filled with thick mists, the sound of industrial looms, secret lanes, taverns and theaters, and dens of vices, we find our group. In the first scene that we played, Kavi led Ezra through an experiment into the soul guarded by Baako. Unfortunately, things did not go as planned, leading to a fight between Ezra and Baako. Winning the fight, Ezra fled to Persephone's workplace, which is the den of iniquity, to recover. After an emotional moment between Ezra and Persephone, Baako charged in and was able to show trust in Ezra. Soon, a storm began and came closer and closer to the trio. As we closed the session, they heard a thud and a large creature's silhouette out the window. Just before it ran into the night, they saw two glowing yellow eyes. On the other side of town, Kavi remained oblivious. Find out what happens as we continue today. And
Nicely done. Nicely done.
So we're going to begin by introducing everyone.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
I'll go. Hi, my name is Halle Palmer. I'm a licensed independent clinical social worker. I work with children that have crime-related trauma, as well as LGBTQIA folks, and people with ADHD. And I'm playing Persephone Mara, who is the gate. And their pronouns are she, her, and my pronouns are she, her as well.
Awesome. I am Tennille. I'm a licensed professional clinical counselor in California, and I run groups under my own private practice called Journey. I'll put a link in the chat room. I am playing Kavi. Pronouns. My pronouns are she, her. Kavi's pronouns are they, them. Of the Scholar playlist. Is it playlist? Yeah. Great.
Playbook, yeah, you got it.
Playbook. That's right. Playbook.
I feel like there is a playlist for this game.
There probably is somewhere.
Sure there is.
We're gonna have to find it.
Yeah. I can go next.
All right.
I am Jessie. My pronouns are she, they. I am a licensed professional counselor in Chicago, Illinois, and I primarily work with just a wide range of people in all walks of life, from kids through adults. And I also do some work with health equity. Yeah, I am playing Baako, who has the Hunter playbook, and their pronouns are Z, Zim.
All right. My name is Kayla. I am a trained therapist, not practicing therapy presently. Instead, I work as a assistive technology specialist, working with technology and resources and things like that to reduce barriers for people. I am playing Ezra, the beast. Ezra's pronouns are she, they. Do we have any updates to the lines or veils?
No. The lines that we currently have are sexual violence, any depictions of animal death or torture, and racism. Our veils are homophobia, transphobia, depictions of physical and verbal violence, and we wanted to make sure to check in more in this game.
Yes. Great. All right.
I'm good with those.
Okay.
So our check-in questions. We have, as player, what hopes or concerns do you have for today? And as character, how are you feeling about events from last session? Would anyone like to go first? I'll go first again. I try to give other people a shot, but okay, as player, what hopes or concerns do I have for today? A concern that I have is that I'm still pretty new to playing the setting, and so I'm worried about that. And I know I'm going to do fine, and that this is a safe group to experiment with all of these things with, but it's a worry of mine. It often is. And my hopes, I'm just really hopeful to see how all of these characters, how they met and how their relationships grow and how they change too. That's one of my favorite things about role playing games is just seeing the character arcs even in a short game. And as character, how are you feeling about events from last session? Persephone is real flustered and doesn't know what to do in sexually tense situations. She is a novice, and that she's just still flustered. She's just going to be perpetually flustered for a bit.
So I'll go next. What hopes or concerns do I have for today? I would say a concern that I have, which is relatively mild, is how Kavi is really going to connect with anyone in the group. And I think that might be a part of being the scholar playbook. So there's other ways to connect, but I don't know. Not sure if it's gonna happen or not. But I don't want to force anything. I just want to see if something happens naturally. And my hope for today is to really just try to give you guys an entertaining show and enjoy ourselves. As a character, how is Kavi feeling about the events from last session? Kavi is confused and intrigued. So the big topic of the soul, it's a very mysterious topic that's very difficult to resolve, and that's kind of a part of it. So yeah, the confusion I don't think is really an unfamiliar emotion to Kavi. Kavi is kind of used to that confusion, but they embrace it.
Oh.
Right. Jesse, you want to go next?
Yeah, I can go next. So what hopes or concern do I have for today? I hope that we'll have a good, enjoyable time getting to explore these characters. And I guess one of my concerns is just playing as a setting or doing a setting, because I feel like I'm not that good at thinking on my feet, but we'll make it work. And then as a character, how is Baako feeling about the events from last session? Baako really wants to know if these creatures in the shadows are back, if they are here coming after me and all of my friends, and what is going on.
Okay. What hopes or concerns do I have for today? I am actually looking forward to learning more about Baako's history. So I'm hopeful that gives us hopeful about the scene that we can create. So yeah. And then how is Ezra feeling about events from last session? Ezra is stressed. Stressed and probably more stressed. They obviously don't like losing control, and that happened. So they're stressed about that and probably wanting to find some relief.
All right. Do we want to do the magic circle thing, or are we gonna just jump right in?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that thing. So I could go. My name is Kayla,
Hi, Kayla.
Hi, Kayla.
Hi, Kayla.
and I am playing Ezra.
Hi, Ezra.
Hi, Ezra.
I'm Tennille,
H. Neil.
I'm Tennille.
and I am playing Kavi.
Hello,
Hi,
Hi,
Kavi.
Kavi.
I'm Halle,
Hi, Halle.
Hi, Halle.
and I am playing Persephone.
Hello,
Hey,
Persephone.
Persephone.
Hello, Persephone.
I'm Jessie,
Hey, Jesse.
Hi,
Hello,
Jessie.
Jessie.
and I'm playing Baako.
Hello, Baako.
Baako.
Hi, Baako.
I like saying Baako. It's a fun name to say. I like it a lot. So, I think that we wanted to start with Baako, correct?
We do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yes.
How does
So,
Baako
I have
feel
no
about
idea.
that?
I have no idea what it would look like, but I am very intrigued by Bako's past and learning more about that.
Ah, yeah, I guess. How do we jump into the past?
Right. So I think you said you were going to use the playbook of the sins of the past.
yes, and one of us needs to
Yes,
to play the setting.
I can do that.
Cool. And Baako, what will you like? What will you need for like NPCs and stuff?
So I guess kind of jumping into this with the setting. One of the few things that Baako was able to regain after being pushed out by society was a roof over their head. So I guess it would make sense to start at Bako's place. Maybe after the events of last time, we wanted to move maybe someplace a little more safe isn't the right word because Baku definitely does not see this place as safe, but more familiar, where we're less likely to be surprised by what comes out at us. And it is an old house in one of the nicer parts of the city. It is in disrepair. It is falling apart. There are broken furniture strewn around. Some of the windows are boarded up. So I guess that would be a place to start.
Okay. So I will play this setting. I'm going to actually have Ezra remain at the Den of Vices, and I'm gonna say that they're probably drinking because they're stressed out now. So that's where, and maybe they'll come to this new place later. So I guess
What's the timeline that we're like starting
Yeah.
with? Because I thought it was in the past, but
Well, so I've got an idea of how we can make it the past.
okay.
So
I imagine Persephone would
Who's-
stay to keep an eye on Ezra. So, because like, and maybe she needs to work. She's just like, I don't know what to do. But I would be happy to play NPCs, or Persephone can show up.
yeah. What? How many? Is it hours in the future? Like,
Yeah, like
I'm
how
thinking maybe this
far
is
after?
maybe it's a couple days after the events of episode 1. I have an idea to get like a flashback. Neil, where's Kavi?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know if Jesse wanted Kavi in the scene or not.
Yeah.
I yeah.
Yeah. What do you
Actually,
want, Jesse? Yeah.
decisions. Actually, I think because Kavi knew Baako from before, when it came to something with science and a lecture or something,
Right.
maybe
Occult studies.
yes, occult studies. So maybe afterwards, after this event and everything going out, Baako would invite Kavi to the place where Baako feels the most safe, even if that is still not truly safe, to talk about what happened.
Sounds good.
Okay, so Baako's inviting Kavi over.
Yes. And yeah. And I guess the first question would be, what was that the other night? What was that happened?
You're asking Kavi.
Yes.
Yeah, when they come in, they have a long trench coat over their suit. And they hang it up in an appropriate place, assuming there is an appropriate place. Yes, I am still gathering up my notes and research, attempting to figure it out. I've come to two conclusions, two possible conclusions, and one being either her soul is immeasurable, which I hope that that is not the case, or her soul is of a much different quality um, than a human soul, than a typical human soul without the beastly abilities. So, and I'm still not. I'm not really sure which it is. I've been thinking about seeing if there's some other way that I can try to test it, but I do really like my experiment, and I kind of want to try it with some others, maybe at another date. I saw you run off. Were you all right? I wasn't sure exactly what was going on myself.
I had to go after the creature. They, like, the creature was there.
You mean you mean Ezra?
Well,
Right? Ezra as the creature. I mean, you understand that, right?
There was some creature, and I know there is more to this world than what we think, and there is a lot that goes bump in the night, and a lot that we need to fear, we need to be careful of. So,
did you capture it? Did you find it?
I didn't find the creature. I found Ezra, but later there was these eyes. They were glowing yellow eyes. I don't know. It was when the storm happened. It was too dangerous to go outside with all of the flooding that's been happening in that part of town recently. Like, we couldn't check at that time.
Right. Yes, of course. Yes, I mean, I have heard news of bodies showing up, whisperings around London.
There is much that goes bump in the night.
Yes. Well, it's not really my specialty. You know a little bit more about that than I do.
And it's just, I've been plagued so much by these dreams, and it's not, there's much that goes bump in the night. There are these creatures. We need to know what is going on with these creatures. What did you bring into the world that night? What is it you were doing? You explained some things with a soul. You've mentioned a beastly soul, but I do not understand what is it that you were doing.
I was attempting to measure her soul, so I can understand it a little bit more, and that information I hoped would help her to learn to control her beastly nature. You know, but I'm not sure that you're understanding that creature. I mean, the only thing that I could surmise was Ezra. I mean, do you understand that?
But there was more. I
Was there?
know Ezra enough to trust them, but there was more. And I need to know what that more is. I need to know where it's coming from, who it's coming from, who is directing this, who is funding you. You have this lab, this equipment, all of this work.
Mm-hmm.
You are well known in your field, but how? Where is all of the money coming from? Who is funding you? What is the source of this?
Well, my parental units, when they were alive, they had land here in England, not in the city. And there are various goods that are profited from that land, and you know, I have someone who basically takes care of those matters. I occasionally look in, I see the numbers, yay, they're good. I don't really look into it that much. And then of course I have the townhouse in London, and that's where I reside. So I have a number of contacts, a number of academic contacts that have offered funding for certain experiments. And when I give them the results, they seem quite pleased. Various things.
Be mindful of where that money flows, which I, in the scene, I've been using my inhibited moves. So that one was offering a cryptic or incomplete warning. The ones before was demanding information or explanation.
Nice. Look at all those power moves.
Yeah,
I love it. As Kavi is saying, be warned of where this money flows from, or as Baako is saying that, Kavi, you notice like this unopened letter sitting on like a desk, like maybe it looks older, like, but it hasn't been opened, but you recognize the writing. I don't know how you recognize the writing.
I didn't realize this, but I also did a move.
Nice.
Advise someone on a point of fact. Yeah, so I gain a token for that.
No, they're getting tokens and you don't even realize it.
Yay.
So there's this unopened letter that you notice, and you're very intrigued by it because the handwriting looks familiar. What does Kavi do with that?
With the letter?
Hmm? And the fact that they recognize...
It's for me, or it's for Baako?
It's an unopened letter that Baako has sitting up kind of on like a side table type thing.
Oh, okay.
But Kavi recognizes the handwriting.
Okay. Well, I do appreciate the warning. I understand that there are things that are still outside of my pure view, outside of my knowledge. And I'm constantly seeking answers. I see that you have a letter there that you haven't opened.
Don't touch that. And I snatched the letter.
I wasn't going to touch it. It's not my mail. Bit protective there. Do you know who that's from?
It's not important. It's put it in a pocket. Just crumpling it up, putting it in a pocket.
The letter kind of burns a bit.
I don't know who it's from. I didn't open it for a reason. It is from a different life.
Oh, it's from a different life. Interesting.
Baako doesn't know who the letter's from. Is that what Baako said?
I didn't open it.
Okay. So
I could be lying.
Could be, yeah. But Kavi recognizes the letter.
Yeah, I was just about to say
the
that.
Handwriting. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I do recognize the handwriting. It's
How?
To me.
Which is demanding an explanation.
You're very demanding today. How do I know? I spend hours and hours writing letters of my own, getting letters sent to me, looking through manuscripts and lots of different penmanships, and a lot of those things just kind of stay in my head. Writing in itself stays in my head. I mean, have you seen my collection of pens?
Do you know who this is from?
Quite a beautiful collection that I always keep with me.
I think that's pulling on Kavi's lure. If you're gonna ask Kavi if they know who the letter's from.
Yeah. Gonna ask.
Oh, you're right. Someone comes to me for answers. They gain a token. Nice. Yes. The handwriting reminds me of an old colleague some years ago.
Don't be forthcoming at all.
What is this letter about? I mean, why? I don't know why you don't want to read it.
So I guess this would be the flashback. So this.
Okay, nice.
This is a letter. The last letter I got from my family on that day. I didn't open it before, and I can't open it now. And now it's too late. No matter what it is, what it says, it's too late. Which
why is it
showing vulnerability.
Why is it too late?
Because they're gone. Nothing can bring them back. And clearly you can see, and from this house, that there is nothing left. This was my family's house, and I was the oldest. That is what my name means. Baako is eldest.
Mm.
And we were happy here. We all knew the role that we played. We all were together through it all, through everything. And then there were parts of my role, parts of what I have to do for my family that didn't feel right, that weren't the steps I wanted to take with my life. So I left. And after I left, they sent this letter. I never opened it. And I had a lot of experiences as I was on my own. Spent a lot of time on the streets, learned how to manage and fend for myself, learned how to take care of myself, do the things that needed to be done. I grew. But then one day I ran into my little sister. And just seeing how she had grown, how much I had missed, she convinced me to go home, to at least talk to everyone again. And I went to do that. But the day before we had planned to meet, something happened. I'm not sure what or who. I know I saw some glowing yellow eyes that day, but that is why this place is as it is. Everything was gone. My family was gone. I don't know what happened, just that by the time I got here, it was too late. I lashed out. I went to find anyone who might know anything and ended up being laughed out of society. I managed to keep the house, but nothing else. Nothing more remains. So, yeah, I will say this letter, the handwriting is from my uncle, who was big in occult studies at the time. Before I had left home, he had mentioned research that he was scared about, that there was more to this world than we knew. There was more in the dark than we knew. And to be careful of where the money flowed, because he had received some money to do some experiments. He was excited but wary. So it is too late. There is nothing I can do but look and see if I can stop more from happening.
Mhm, mhm. I am going to spend a token to lay bare my theories and my heart.
Ooh.
Kavi kind of like leans in close to Baako and says, I am sorry for what has happened to your family. And that must be a sad, heartbreaking thing for you to experience this. But it's not the end. I don't believe that I don't believe that anything is at the end. There might be some clues in that letter. There might be something that you can learn. You could be missing out on something wonderful. That letter is a remnant from your family. And although I don't know where the soul goes after someone passes or what the spiritual realm is, there's still energy in this world, everywhere, all around us. And even in the walls of this building is still the happiness energy that you can experience from the memories that you have. You have not lost that, Baako. They offered this letter to you. I implore you, read it. It is what they would have wanted, right?
So I will show trust and spend a token to pull out the letter, smooth it out as much as I can, and open it. And what would I find inside?
Yeah. You said the letters from your uncle?
Yes.
Is your uncle still alive?
I don't know. I assume Baako assumes everyone in their family is dead at this point.
In the letter you receive, it's from your uncle's name.
I didn't think that far ahead.
For some reason, I have the name Samuel in my head.
Okay. So the letter starts off with, "My dearest Baako, I hope it's not too late by the time you read this letter. I've been following this fellow academic's research around souls and light and what it means to capture the soul's energy. I'm not sure if this so-called this academic has, I don't know what their motives are, but I know that I need to you just distracted me.
All right.
So in the letter it says, I don't know what their motives are for seeking answers to the soul, but it got me thinking about where the soul starts and what happens once the soul's been corrupted. If you were reading this letter, don't blame me. I was just trying to seek out answers to claim fame in the academic world. And then it says, I'll be going on an expedition that might bring things back that aren't meant to be here. And then it's signed Samuel.
What did he do?
Are you saying that out loud?
I guess it'd be more of a whisper.
I'm sorry, say it again. What was that?
What did he do?
What did who do? Can I read it?
I kind of angle it so that Kavi can see it as I'm like gripping it and shaking.
I would imagine that he it sounds like he went off to some unknown place.
You're also intrigued, Kavi, by the fact that Samuel makes mention of the soul and capturing the soul's essence. light. It sounds very familiar to your theory and what you've been working on. And it makes you
Right.
wonder, was this person keeping track of my research?
Mhm.
More
Yes.
importantly, what did he find out?
Right. Yes. I am concerned about the capture of the soul because I mean, and there are some academics that disagree with me, but I don't believe that a soul should be captured. That it should be free to be where it needs to be, wherever that is, but not held up for some nefarious purpose or even for scientific purpose. That would be unethical, I think. Not something that I would ever enforce in any way. Well, I could go to my my study and look through my files and see what I have on Samuel. I do keep a record of all letters that are sent to me, and I could take a look at those. See if I have anything more to report to you.
As you say
That
that, you
would.
hear a knock on the door, like a pounding.
Are you expecting someone?
Only you. No one should be here. I guess.
The pounding gets louder, and you hear a voice that's familiar to you saying, "Baako, open the door. We need to talk."
Well, it is your decision, your
I
place.
slam open the door.
And standing in front of you with golden eyes and like this big gash is your uncle.
Okay. I am.
Halle, your face stopped.
Halle, you want to play the uncle?
Sure, I will. I'll play it straight. I swear. Like not too straight, but you know what I mean.
Oh, this is quite a coincidence. Just you haven't opened this letter for who knows how long. The day that you finally do.
So, Kayla, did you have like a plan with this?
I do. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
so should you play?
I mean,
uncle?
I can tell you the plan.
Okay.
Send it through a private message.
Yeah.
I won't have it be about your extended warranty. I like really tried to wait.
Hey, that'd be hilarious if he's like, "Hey, have you changed your car insurance to Geico?"
Baako, I have been trying to reach you. This is the last time that I will try to reach you about your carriage's extended warranty.
And why is this the last time out of 20?
You're never going to get a deal like this ever again. Look at me, Baako.
You
Press
should probably
2
take it.
if you don't want to hear from me again.
I'm pushing
okay, okay, I'll call you next week.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, thank you
I get
so
those
much.
calls all the time.
Right?
Oh my goodness.
Yes. You guys.
I tell them not to call and they still call me back.
Right?
Yep.
Don't say anything. You just need to cancel. Okay, let me read this.
Oh my goodness. He's like, as she's reading, he's got this large wound and can barely stand. So you might want to help him inside to like somewhere to lay. Or you can do whatever you want with him.
I mean,
Okay, so yeah, he's in front of you, clothes in tatters, huge gash, glowy eyes. sees Kavi as well, but he's frantic, and he kind of stumbles against the door frame and tries to catch himself, but kind of stumbles into you. Like, I need your help.
Instinct pulling out a knife. Give me one reason why I shouldn't. Give me one reason. What did you do to everyone else?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What happened to everyone? What killed them? What did you do?
He looks around the room, like this is the first time that he's kind of looked past you into the house, and he realizes how derelict it is and how much disrepair it is, and he's like, where's your mom and dad? Where's my brother?
There is no one left. What did you do?
What do you mean there's no one left?
There is me. There is no one else.
I've been gone for years. Like, this is literally the first stop I've had since I got off the boat. Like, I have no clue what you're talking about. I sent you that letter, like, saying I'm going to be gone for a while. Like, I got some stuff to do, looking into some stuff.
You said you were going to bring something that shouldn't be here, and the next thing that happens is everyone is gone. What did you bring? What did you do? I have been demanding this information and I'm writing down my tokens. What did you do?
Everything that I did was not anywhere near here. It was on a different continent.
Which of my monsters is working against me? Are you working with these creatures? Why are your eyes yellow?
No. Can I please come in? I am dying. And he coughs blood.
Baako, it seems like your uncle doesn't have the answers.
I can talk to you. Like, can I come in?
Sometimes when there are no explanations, Baako, we need to just listen.
Listen to her. Or to them, sorry.
Well, okay, that's my lure of when someone helps you to or offers solace, then they gain a token.
Oh, yay!
So you get a token for that.
Awesome.
And last time, Tennille, you were like, I got no tokens, and now you've got you're rolling in them.
Yeah, now I've got lots of tokens. Yeah. Kavi will look around for any type of bandages or anything so that they can help out. Where did you go, Samuel?
He's kind of fading in and out a little bit, and we went to the south, across the ocean to the Americas, and I was chasing legends and myths about creatures, and I spent a good couple years just trying to get the trust of the locals, and just as I was about to get the information I needed, I was attacked, and they turned me into one of them, and I turn into this thing, this beast. I don't know what happened to your family. When I left, everyone was fine. You were not in the home, but this is the first I'm hearing of it. He coughs, and there's blood everywhere.
Kavi brings some bandages to his chest and begins to start bandaging him up, and they're kind of looking over any wounds or anything, and just doing basic first aid.
I I don't think I'm going to make it.
Do you believe him, Baako? I mean, I don't know what his motivation would be for lying.
So Baako has been pacing the room during this exchange. I want to believe this, but they're all still gone. And you told me to be weary of certain groups, certain people before you left. How, what is with, I don't know what to do. I don't
He like,
know.
as you walk past him, he grabs your arm and he says, "You don't have to believe what I'm saying right now, but they're on their way. They're coming. They've been hunting me. I don't know what happened to our family, but you need to protect yourself and
Who's on their way?
the people that turned me into this. They're here. They followed me all the way back." And he kind of like motions to his jacket that like was probably peeled off of him when you started tending to the wounds. In my jacket, like reach inside. There should be something in the pocket.
Kavi offers the jacket to Baako.
Yeah, Baako reaches into the pocket.
You have to dig around. There's a hole at the bottom of the pocket, but hidden inside the lining of the jacket, you pull out like a small leather-bound notebook, and it is damp. And he says, like, everything's in there, and then he slumps, and nothing else comes out of his mouth.
That's what you're left with.
Baako punches a wall.
Sorry.
Well, that's a way to react.
So break? Should
Yeah.
we cliffhanger?
Also, that was lashing out suddenly with my fist.
All right. All right.
We need a little tally of all of
yeah. I'm liking the idea of breaking here and potentially picking this back up, like this particular scene next time, or coming back to it right before we end today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'd
like
like to
this cliffhanger.
Yeah. I'd like to finish it when we come back, but
maybe we can get Ezra and Persephone in, or no?
I
don't
We
know.
don't have to.
Well, so how much?
No, I meant into the scene.
Right. So how much do you think you have to fit? Like, where do you think this last little bit's going?
I mean, Kavi would like to process a little bit with Baako, I think, before we end. So I didn't imagine it being too long, unless Jesse had other ideas.
Yeah. So what I was thinking was it's like a cut, like we cut away as this is happening, take a break, do a scene with Ezra and Persephone, and move to, and then we end with Baako and Kavi finishing.
Oh,
that's what I was thinking.
Oh,
that's where my brain was going. Yeah,
that sounds nice.
Okay,
yeah.
Sure.
Okay,
I'm for it.
Like commercial. Then you don't go back to the scene quite yet.
You go to a different scene,
like in a soap opera.
Yeah,
we have to have
we
need to have, or we leave it on a cliffhanger right here and have to pick it up in 2 episodes.
Well, I was also thinking that.
Finally come back.
I don't want to.
Yeah,
I didn't want to take that away from Tennille's agency, so we can totally wrap. But we'll leave a little bit of time so that Kavi and Baako we'll flash back to Kavi and Baako, and then we'll end. Cool.
Excellent.
All right.
And then
Well,
I can come up with ideas
Good.
on what's
Yes.
in that notebook.
All right. All right.
Is it
Audience.
like a 5-minute break or 10-minute break?
We'll take.
10-minute break?
Do you want to take a 10-minute? Would you like? Is that a? We can do 10 minutes. 10 minutes is
Let's
fine.
do 10.
We'll be
Yeah,
back
10
in 10 minutes, everyone.
All right. See you soon.
Bye.
Hey,
Welcome
hey.
back.
Hello.
Also back for the last half is my dog barking in the background because they're trick or treaters, and so you might hear her. Sorry.
Okay. Are we ready? Should we get into the second scene?
I think so.
Sounds good. What setting are we going with?
We are going with the blood that flows.
Okay. And I believe Jesse's going to be doing this one this time, right?
Yes.
I think, yeah, yes, he is. I think Ezra's been at the bar since the night that they lost control.
They lost control and then they had a slumber party.
I mean, I guess we don't know what happened at that slumber party.
Nobody knows. So this is at the Den of Vices,
Yeah,
where
whatever it's called.
Persephone also works.
Does that place have a name?
I had a really great name for a place like this. I have to find it.
Embrace. Wait. Is
think we
it
gave it a
Embrace
name.
of the? No, that's the setting.
Yeah, we're doing the blood that flows for the setting.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. It's an old place that I used for D&D.
It's a pretty decent question.
Can't find it.
Tennille has suggested White Heart.
The White Heart? That sounds like really nice.
The Red
No,
Lion.
Here we go. Oh, the Slip Nip.
Oh my god.
That was the name.
No.
No, not for the. I think that they definitely want to try to. I also had the Bears.
All right, Queen's Head. I like that. Queen's
like
Head.
the Queen's
That's
Head.
good.
The Queen's Head. There we go. Okay.
Off with their heads. That's
Yes.
I love it.
And I'm just thinking of the owner
Right.
and their intents.
Well, Ezra is just sitting at a table drinking and has been drinking for like the last however many days it's been since the incident at Kavi's. Ezra's probably also playing cards with a group of other people.
Is Ezra winning?
I don't know. Let me roll a die.
Let's flip a coin. Heads you win, tails you lose.
Got a coin.
Okay. Awesome.
I got heads. You win.
Okay.
You're winning.
Ezra's winning for now.
All right.
And Persephone is like running around, like cleaning up tables and stuff like that, and avoiding gropey hands. And she's been working pretty. It's because I would say because of the storm and everything. People are in need of engaging in their vices more than usual, what with the river flooding and all of that, and rumors of glowy eyes everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So she's rushing around and
just setting. Are there more like familiar faces or more unfamiliar faces on this night?
It's probably all the usuals and then some. Like they all brought their friends too. I think that this could be a good opportunity for some NPCs if we want them, but we'll see.
I think Ezra
Like,
probably knows everybody at the table they play cards with.
okay,
Most of them
yeah,
say they probably know because they probably play cards regularly.
yeah, and Persephone knows all the other people that work there, and then there's the head madam, I would say, and I think she's really intense. I think she's a lot of fun.
So, of all the people that work there, who is the one that is closest to Persephone?
Closest, someone that probably someone that either she can see herself in, like sees a bit of herself in them, or that is non-threatening. So maybe it could be like an elderly person who helps fix things up, or maybe one of the other women that works there. And I'll let you choose.
Okay.
Or both.
So, we'll say the first person to come up to Persephone is someone who used to work there but has now retired. And let me see as I'm reading the setting. This is someone who, this is someone who was beautiful once and then was tossed out when they were no longer useful to the Queen's Head, but had nowhere else to go and was stuck working in the back. Has seen a lot of cruelty in their life and has taken you as much under their wing as they can because it's a rough world and you are someone who also seems in out of your head, like over your head. So careful tonight. Looks like we have a lot of new faces in.
Yeah, I know. Like, why is everyone coming here? Like, there's so many places that are way better. Like, don't they understand that, like, we only have so much space? How are you? How are you doing?
Doing good. Just keeping things clean, making sure there's good enough food on the tables for this crowd.
You're doing great. Like, have you talked to Ezra at all? I'm a little worried about her.
Yeah, Ezra is haven't talked to her.
I'm taking an inhibited move, so I'm just engaging in intoxicants. I'm gonna take that very easy token.
Okay.
Yeah, Ezra's tab. Ezra's tab has been increasing, but it looks like she has been making up that money in the card game, so can't complain.
I know, but like I'm like, is she okay?
That we are here to make our money to survive. Like whether or not the customers are okay, something we don't really have to concern ourselves with. I know you're close to Ezra, maybe. I've seen some things, like
I mean,
like
I care
Ezra
about
came
them.
in a few days ago, looked a bit roughed up. What was going on?
Nothing. I'm just, a good friend. And she like kind of brushes some hair out of her face, and she's like, I gotta take care of this like tray of stuff. And I'm using play your stifling part and move freely in society. I mean, I don't know if this is considered society, but it's close enough. So she's trying to just suck it up and be a barmaid. And but you do notice that she definitely avoided your questions just now, and picks up a couple more glasses, rushes them to the kitchen, comes back out, and like kind of walks close to Ezra and like is like, "You guys need anything?"
Ezra's gonna look at her drink and he's gonna say, "Yeah, like another round for the table."
Okay, like she picks up some of the like discarded butts and trash and some steins and rushes back and gets you guys some more drinks and comes back and just like, you can't drink for all of your meals. Like eventually you're gonna have to do something else. And she's real annoyed with you. And I want to cut you down a little bit with some sharp words or secrets. So you can't just drink to avoid all your problems, Ezra. And slams down the stein and gets a little beer everywhere.
I mean, I've done a pretty good job of that.
Let me know how it works out for you. And she hurries off and avoids you for a while.
While Persephone's doing her job, waiting tables, avoiding some grabby customers, Ezra is at a table playing some cards with some regulars. So let's say one of them, Arthur, who is a little older, a factory worker, used to work in the factories. It's just been so hard recently, it's been hard to breathe. Fingers haven't been able to move them as nimbly as before. It's just been harder and harder to get things done. Pretty sure gonna get fired soon, but gotta keep it up. And just this older gentleman is like, so Ezra, like, you're doing pretty good in the cards today. Like, what's been going on? How are you getting this lucky?
Just, I don't know. I'm just all talent. I'm just paying attention. Maybe you should try it.
I mean, always paying attention, but you should be a bit careful with like all this money you're making, especially in a place like this.
I don't need. Are you threatening me?
No. You look, you know me. Definitely. Just there's a lot of sticky fingers here. There's a lot of new faces tonight.
That sounds like a threat. Why are you threatening? You should.
Look,
maybe
I know better than that.
Maybe you should try harder. The cards are just in my favor tonight. I'm gonna take the inhibited move, boast or brag in front of the wrong person.
Is it okay if I play Gunther?
Yes.
Yeah. So Gunther is like this broad-shouldered guy, and he's got like a very deep voice, and he's got a cigar he's been smoking like the whole night, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, we're not doing so well in the cards, but she's paying for all the drinks, so I can't complain."
Yeah.
And
Speaking
he's like
of drinks,
coughing and hacking, but he's still like smoking on the cigar.
Yeah, speaking of drinks, when's the next round?
You finished your drink already?
Yes.
Damn. Maybe you should win a round.
Just because I'm not doing as good as you doesn't mean I won't win.
Okay, let's see it.
Maybe she's getting luck from that barmaid.
Yeah. Yeah, that new barmaid does seem to be a little sweet on you.
She never
Is she
gives me
new?
head. She's never even given me the time of day.
Have you seen yourself?
Yeah, I look amazing.
I'm going to use a transgressive move. And I'm going to seize all attention in a room by word or deed. And I'm going to come over and hand on my hip, slam down, I don't know, some dirty plates in front and say, that barmaid has a name and you guys can mind your own business and you're cut off. I'm done. You can go talk sweet to one of the other ladies and try to get drinks.
Oh, looks like you pissed her off.
I didn't piss her
Ezra.
off. It sounds like you did.
No, this is all Ezra's fault. Like clearly.
She
Yeah,
definitely throws daggers at Ezra, but is more pissed off about the words that other people were saying. She's just like,
Ezra is going. Has Persephone left?
She stormed off. She decided to go clean somewhere else.
Oh, okay. Well, so
She's
You
still
should
in
probably
the building.
chase
is
after
Persephone
her.
wanting to?
That's what ladies like.
I don't think I'm gonna take any advice from you, Gunther. Would it upset player agency if Ezra were to like grab Persephone's like wrist?
I don't think so. I think it would probably
Okay.
be in character for both
Okay, so
of
Ezra's
them.
gonna
Like, she's very dramatic.
Ezra's going to take a transgressive move and is going to spend a token and is going to ask, how can I show that I love you as you are? And remember, Ezra is read as male in normal society.
Okay. So
However, that's not Ezra's pronouns. But so that one of the ways that others see me or society sees me is as a man.
yeah.
So that just adds another complicated layer there.
Mm-hmm.
Because who knows what would happen if they found out that.
So what can Ezra do to show that you love her as she is?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just love yourself for once.
Oh.
And like
Well.
and I'm gonna use an inhibited move and look at, and I'm gonna like hold my arm as if I'm about to yank it back, and I'm gonna look you right in your eyes and use my gift, and I'm gonna say, what's your greatest fear? What are you really scared of right now? What are you hiding from?
You guys are having this conversation in front of everybody, right?
Sure are.
Yeah. There's a lot
It's
going on, though. It's a very
it's
bustling.
happening. Absolutely.
Ezra's drunk. Persephone's
Ezra's borderline.
ticked off.
Yeah, Ezra's intoxicated. Ezra, like, doesn't know, like, is like overcome and is with this just like with your gift and is very like caught out and kind of says I don't you know what happened the very first time I lost control? Like I'm afraid of feeling anything.
I'll spend a token to seek intimate seclusion with someone and say, we shouldn't do this right here. Do you want to talk about this now or avoid it?
Gunther's just like watching this as he's smoking.
Yeah. I think Ezra's like not fully sober enough to like not be like, yeah, I'm gonna stay here. Because now
Okay.
you've like brought up all this stuff. So Ezra's like, yeah, I guess we can. Where are we going?
Like, are you even gonna remember this conversation tomorrow? Like, when you sober up, then we can start having this conversation.
Great memory.
I'm sure you do. Enjoy your card game.
Well, wait a second. So
She's
wait, I thought we were talking.
yeah, she doesn't know. She's
She doesn't
Oh.
know.
well, because like we could talk about this right now, but you were right. Like, you're a bit drunk. I don't know if you could handle this conversation right now.
Well, that's not. I mean,
That's what
yes.
she's thinking. She's being ridiculous.
So, Kavi gave me this like drink that'll sober me up really quick, and Ezra pulls out.
Okay, fine. Okay.
It's
Well,
an
I can't
elixir.
like you can help
Kavi's really
me.
good at that stuff.
Yeah, Kavi's great. I have to go clean up our room. You can come with me and we can chat there while I do it.
Oh, okay. So Ezra will follow.
Yeah, I can't take like a
we-
real break.
Gunther asks Ezra, should I keep the seat warm for you?
I don't know what you mean.
All right. Well,
Ezra's gonna grab all that money.
All right. I'll just deal you out on the next one.
Okay. So I guess a couple things. One, Ezra, as you grab the money, notice it's a little less than you thought it would be. But as you are going down the hall, you run into the owner of this place, which before I go, Persephone, by chance, do you know the owner's name?
I think it should be something like really cool, like Rowan something or other. Rowan. I don't know. The last name has to be obviously fake.
Okay. Rowan
McFakerson.
McFacey face. McFakey face. This moment brought to you by ADHD. How about I'm thinking like
Rowan Mirage.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Clever.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Rowan Mirage, and I think that they're non-binary.
Okay. So, excuse me, where do you think you're going? Rowan says, talking to Ezra.
What do you mean?
These are the workers' rooms.
Oh,
and
somebody's like, I'm sorry. Like Ezra's just coming with me to help me clean this room. I have to move some like heavy furniture, and I just can't do it myself.
Now, when you came in earlier, Persephone, when you started working here, you mentioned you did not want to be part of this aspect of the job. But if that has changed, no one goes to the workers' room without a price.
I'm going to use a transgressive move. Stare into the madam's eyes and bewitch them.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm just because I have zero patience, and I'm just gonna look at them and say, Ezra's helping me, and you're okay with this. Jedi hand wave.
Well, okay.
You suggested it.
I may have suggested it, but there is a proper way that these things are done, because there is an etiquette to this. So
I don't think we're gonna do what you think we're gonna do.
Even if you don't do whatever it is you're going to do, in this establishment, there is a way things are done. For you to go back there, a price has to be paid. because this is one of the moves of the setting.
Like money? You want
Money may be that price.
Are there other prices?
It depends what people are searching for. People here are desperate, that not a lot of money flows. So money when we can, whatever favors they may have to offer when they can't.
Oh.
So name a price and then you may go.
Oh, I have to. Well. Okay.
You have a lot of coin.
I don't. I was just like, I don't. Persephone. I don't know. What am I supposed to?
Just like they want payment of some form. So like for my time.
How much?
I don't know. That's not my job. You could also like offer other services. Be creative. What would you be willing to give?
Well, that's a loaded question. Ezra will give Rowan all but 3, 4 of the coin.
Oh.
I have no idea how much Ezra wants.
My time is pricey.
Yeah,
I didn't know you cared about me so much.
I will say because
I was just gonna like look at Persephone if as Persephone said that, and it's just like, really?
I think you get a token because you basically promised to stay with me.
But I will say, because it's a poorer establishment in terms of coin, let's say you'd made about 12 total. You had 10 when you were walking down the hall. You've given all but 3, so you gave away 7.
You're a natural dungeon master, by the way.
Yeah,
you should run D&D
it.
sometime soon.
We'll see.
You're doing great.
That's right. I didn't know you cared so much. And
I thought that
Persephone,
was obvious.
Sometimes it's difficult to tell. Thank you, madam. Like, do you mind if we go clean the room now?
Yes. Also, I will say that this amount does cover when you stayed over a few days ago.
What do you? What do you? Okay, I'm not even gonna. Ezra's not even gonna. It's just gonna. Okay.
I know what goes on in my business. It is my job to know. And then Rowan walks away.
Persephone is fuming. She's just like, like, why did I come here? Like, maybe it wasn't that bad. I could have just stayed at home. And she just like grabs up the stuff that she needs to clean the room and like swishes past you, Ezra, and leads you to the room that is in need of flipping.
Okay.
Ezra, like, I don't understand like why you are doing this to yourself.
What do you mean?
Like, you've been here for days drinking. Like, are you okay?
I mean, I got into a fight. Well, I didn't just get into a fight. I lost control and turned into the other thing. Beat up Baako. So I don't know. What do you think?
I think that at some point you need to accept that this is a part of you. And that maybe it's not as monstrous as you think it is.
It feels monstrous. And it wants all kinds of things.
I'm sure it's scary. Like, do you know who you are when it happens? Do you know what's happening when you turn into the monster?
Sometimes.
And are you the monster or are you trapped? And just kind of like looking out from the monster's eyes. What's it like?
The monster's a thing, or what do you mean?
I guess what is it like when you lose control?
great. But also there's this level of power, but it doesn't feel like my power. I'm going to take a inhibited move and ask, what makes me vulnerable in this situation?
Are you asking yourself or me?
I think I will ask the setting.
Okay. So, in this situation, what makes you vulnerable is ooh, that lack of control in what was going on, but also the lack of control in losing control of your physical body, but also being in a state where controlling your level of intoxication is all you can do, but doing that pushes you away from someone that you do hold dear in whatever way.
Hmm. Okay. Like a double-edged sword.
I'm gonna say Persephone like almost has like an uncanny knowledge of, does like not purposefully but kind of senses this realization that Ezra's maybe having and says, like, I don't know who is in more control, the beast when you are transformed, or when you're you but you're in the bar drinking and gambling for days. Like, that's not control either. And I had to leave my family for very specific reasons, and a lot of it involved those kind of vices.
What do you what do you what should I what do you want me to do?
I don't like, it's only something that you can do for yourself. Like, I feel like sometimes I don't know you and I want to know you.
So I'm gonna take a transgressive move, and as Persephone says that, I have like I have 6 tokens.
I've been like
I don't know.
spending and getting
I
them.
don't know how to use them all. Okay, so
Well,
as Persephone says that, I'm gonna surrenders control and starts sobbing, and like kind of like drops to their knees.
hmm.
I'm gonna like sit down next to you and I'm gonna like put an arm around your shoulders and kind of like lean my head on your shoulder while like kind of like holding you and maybe doing, not in an awkward way, like in an intimate, like,
Yeah.
this must really suck kind of way. Not the like there, but more like, okay, this is you. And I'm gonna,
I think you get a token
ooh,
for
yay,
my lure.
accepting you as you are.
I think so.
Yeah. Um,
So,
I'm gonna ask,
Mhm.
how can I show you that I love you just as you are?
Mm.
Not,
I think.
oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was just, as Persephone, just say like, I feel like I've seen glimpses of who you are. And I do like that person. I think that they're wonderful and I think there's a lot there. But I'm afraid that you don't even like yourself as you are. But sorry, how can I show you or tell you?
I think by continuing to just. I think Ezra. This is the player speaking. Not Ezra, because Ezra's sobbing. So I think Ezra needs reminders of like who they are, not when they're trying to control whether or not the monster comes out, or who they are as the monster, because they get lost in that dynamic. So maybe Persephone can show Ezra that they love Ezra as they are, by maybe reflecting on like those moments that they've seen of Ezra that they've liked.
Have we decided how like they met?
I
think that there was something like Ezra knows about her family.
Yeah.
Being that's the secret that Ezra's keeping for.
Yes.
her.
That is the secret. That's right.
So I'm wondering, like, do we know what Ezra's like occupation is?
I think so. Ezra works at the factory because Ezra's running from Scotland Yard.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
So,
but is not guilty of what Scotland Yard thinks they're guilty.
Okay, so I'm thinking that maybe Persephone's family owns the factory.
Okay.
And that's how maybe she knows Ezra. And so she's gonna kind of like lean against you and say, like, I don't know, ever since I took that tour of the factory with my family and I met you, I've been drawn to you. Like, you're a strong, amazing person, and you're like probably the nicest person there. And I'll do whatever I can to help you remember who you are, who you were before all of this happened to you. Because, like, I know I wouldn't be here if it weren't for what you've done to help me. And, like, keep me safe from my family and away from my family.
Ezra, like, the cry, it's like not as bad. And Ezra kind of says, like, does Ezra like recall? Like, was it like an actual meeting, or was it Persephone seeing Ezra?
It was probably like one of those like rom-coms where like one of them sees the other one and their hair goes like this, and like time stops for a minute for each of them.
Okay.
And then they don't talk for talk for the first time until like 2 weeks later or something.
Sure. All right.
But yeah, I think as long as Ezra also had that time stop, then Ezra would probably also know. Maybe Persephone had like a crush for a really long time.
Sure. Ezra's gonna say, you really think that?
Yeah. I don't think if I hadn't met you, I wouldn't have been brave enough to leave. To give it all up.
So, as you are, because Ezra, you're kneeling on the ground, right?
Yeah, I think we're both on the ground at this point.
So you shift slightly, and as you shift, something rolls into view, and it is a crystal bottle of perfume. It is mostly empty at this point, but it's very intricate design with like a stopper that is in like like in the shape of like a crystal. It is more. It is a thinner perfume bottle, and it looks like it has some delicate jewels inlaid on this. And as it rolls out, you smell a familiar scent from it of lavender and rosemary. What does this remind you of?
So
I think So I think that. Oh, you.
Yeah. No, like it just has rolled onto the floor, and it seems like it might have come from Persephone's pocket.
Her Persephone's pocket.
Mhm.
This dress has pockets.
Yes.
It's got pockets. Sorry.
So, Ezra's gonna reach for it and is going to say, "Is this yours?"
Oh, yes. Sorry. Let me like. Oh my goodness. Like, I'm so glad that it didn't break. Thank you. Um, and she like grabs it, fumbles, and then like tries to stash it away. She makes sure it's not
But
broken.
where is it? Where is it from?
It's from home. I left pretty much everything else behind. But like this, like it's the perfume that my mom would wear, and that she said that when I became a woman, I could start wearing it, and it reminds me of her.
Do you wear it?
Like every once in a while, I'm trying to save it. Like I don't want to waste it. Because there were times that weren't bad. You know,
Mm.
she was much better than my father. She still expected me to like get married to a man and pop out 50 kids.
That's a lot of
But she also
children.
took care of me. Huh? Yeah. You know, you gotta carry on the family name, I guess. I don't know. They wanted sons, but they got me. Um, and I don't know. I'm not upset that I left. I don't miss it. But like this is just, and she pulls it out and she like twists it, and you can tell that she's kept it very clean, and
Yeah.
it's just really beautiful and
Mm.
delicate.
It does look very nice. Jesse, what did you ask Ezra about the
What does the
perfume?
smell remind you of?
Um, I think the smell reminds Ezra of safety and comfort. But they don't
She
know
like
why. Like they don't have like a
she unstoppers
historical
it,
memory.
and yeah, she like pulls the thing out and she smells it, and then like lets a little bit come out, but then closes it back up.
How much does that cost? Like, can we get you more?
Um, I mean, you could, but I there's like this one belonged to my mom, and so that's why I care about it.
I see.
We should clean
Well,
this room. She like realizes how close she's sitting next to Ezra,
um,
and Ezra's not sobbing. Help me out. Rowan is gonna. She's like,
wait.
sorry.
It's like how you
So,
disrupt the whole thing.
so at this
Um,
time, there is a slight knock at the door before Rowan enters and is just like, I see that cleaning. Yeah. Persephone, you're needed out front. We don't have enough workers right now. We just had some more people come in.
Okay, I'll be out in 1 minute. I'll be right out.
Okay.
I mean,
So,
I will. I'll clean the.
No, we can. I'm not gonna make you clean the whole. You. I'm not gonna make you pay to clean a room. um. Thank you for coming in. I'm sorry. Maybe I embarrassed you in front of your friends. Who are you playing cards with?
They're like buddies from the factory.
Okay.
Actually, you should probably not tell them your name,
No, I
like your
won't.
full name. They're just buddies from the factory.
Um.
I mean, I think you smell really pretty with the perfume.
She blushes a little bit. But I am gonna say, as she's kind of like trying to clean things up, she kind of hears a whisper behind her, and I want to ask an inhibited move of the setting. What darkness is being drawn to me?
So the darkness that is being drawn to you is one of shadows. It is something that is more insidious. You don't notice it's there until it jumps up and attacks. And so, as of now, you can't figure out the nature of the darkness, just that it is a more creeping type of darkness that is slowly coming in and slowly and I don't know. Sorry, I don't know if you could hear what's happening in my background. It just got
I
It's
kind of
the
like want that,
darkness. It's
or
the
it's
darkness.
it's the people
It's
in the
down
bar.
the yeah.
Sounds like
A little bit of
Yeah.
both.
It's just bar laughter.
We got our very own
Laugh track and
laugh
everything.
track.
Yeah.
The bar is popping. The pub is popping.
Yep. But yeah, so it is an insidious darkness. You do not yet understand the nature of it, but it is something that feels like it has always been there and it is slowly growing.
So I'm gonna, oof. And I feel like that's exactly how she feels like these voices in her gift are. And she's gonna, as she's like fluffing the pillow, she's gonna look up at Ezra, kind of like with like blank eyes, and say, I'm afraid that I'm never gonna find peace, and I'm just gonna succumb to this dark gift. And then she like shakes her head, and she's like kind of, it's like she wasn't herself for a second there.
So Ezra is going to respond. So I'm going to make a transgressive move and make another promise that they would rather die than break. And is going to say, I will do anything to help you find peace, even if that includes sacrificing myself.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. I'm gonna need you with me for whatever's coming. In like her own way, that's kind of like for protection, but also like
Yeah.
I can't do this alone.
I also need you. And Ezra is going to open their arms and offer comfort. I'm going to take a second transgressive.
She will accept comfort. Like she goes in for like, she needs like a hug.
Yes, Ezra and Persephone are embracing.
Yay!
Rowan comes back in.
Damn it.
Persephone, you're needed now.
Persephone's gonna sigh loudly, give Ezra a quick kiss on the cheek, and swish out with all the dirty things, and mentally curses Rowan.
Yeah. So I'd like to,
and it might be a real curse. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows? But as you're doing that, you hear Ezra say just loud enough for you to hear that they would make a home with you if you'll let them. And is going to take the transgressive move. Speak your desires out loud and accept them.
Ooh.
And I think we end with Persephone walking out and cursing Rowan.
So many tokens.
Had like 6 and now I'm down to 2.
Oh no, you get one. Promises to stay with you. You get one for that.
Oh yeah.
Probably got a couple of those. I don't know.
I used a couple of them, so okay. So that's we'll end that scene there. That's pretty good. We'll pan back to Kavi and Baako. Some whiplash. Remind me what was in the uncle's pocket.
There was
Notebook.
a
Notebook.
little notebook. We'll say it's
Okay.
about yay big.
All right.
And
Oh,
it's
nice.
filled with stuff, but this is not
Got
filled
it.
with stuff.
Okay. Do have you either of you found the notebook yet?
Baako
Yes.
found it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead then.
Flipping through the notebook, what do I see?
It's encrypted. It's like in code. You might need some
Oh.
help.
This is very, very intriguing.
I show it to Kavi.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Kavi, you
I-
understand. You know
yeah.
the cipher.
I am so excited.
You might not be able to completely decrypt the whole thing. You might need to go back to your lab, but
Yes, this is amazing. I am
you
impressed.
You keep flipping and you see some pictures of what look like runes, maybe some grave sites, some burial sites, one of a temple. You're not familiar with the locations. You'd have to research those locations. And the notes in the pictures you can see are also using the cipher. You keep flipping and you keep flipping. Maybe there's like newspaper clippings of instances where people had gone missing, only return like a few years, a few decades later with golden eyes and this like animalistic body type aggression. Or there's one newspaper clipping where the town was like the small town was attacked by multiple of creatures like this. The newspaper article kind of goes on to say stuff of like they had these elongated arms and these claws that could tear a man in half. You see one or two actual drawings with these faces. They're kind of like ridged. It's kind of monstrous type faces, but the golden eyes are there. You see the pictures and you're reminded of Ezra's eyes, but you can tell that there's a difference. You're just not sure, but you can tell that there's a difference. So you see it and you're like, this is familiar, but there's something different. And you kind of think, what if like the eyes in the drawings kind of look like they're dead inside. Like there's nothing behind them. And then there's more. So the book is filled with this and filled with the cipher. Just entries and entries and entries. The only thing that you can completely read is the dates because those are just written in plain ink. So the first entry is from the day that Baako said they like last spoke to their uncle. And then the most recent is from just the day before.
How long has it been? How long has it been since you've seen your uncle, Baako?
It's been years. I last talked to him even before. I last talked to him even before I left my family, and that was years ago. It's been so long since I last spoke with him.
So over 5 years? Over 10? Over 6?
I'd say maybe 4 to 5 years.
Yes, this code is it's quite impressive, but I believe that I can decipher it. It's just going to take me some time, and it's best that I get to my study. So that's gonna be some hours. If you do not mind, I will, of course, take very good care of it.
I will leave it in your care,
All right.
which is a show of trust.
Is that your lure?
No, that's my transgressive move.
Transgressive. Okay. What should we do about your uncle's body? I mean, I do have a colleague that might be able to look it over and perhaps gain further information, but I do wish to honor your family's desires. Not everyone is willing to offer themselves up for science, and I would not do that if your uncle would not wish that, of course.
I do not know what his wishes would have been. I no longer really know him, but I do have friends that would be able to help us discreetly move and make the proper accommodations that we would need to.
Friends that are not the appropriate authorities? Is that what you mean?
I mean, friends may be too strong of a word, but I know who to talk to and where to go to get these matters taken care of.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is your family, so I trust you to make that choice if that is what you see fit.
Yes, it will be done.
Right.
And as you say that, Samuel's body, his eyes shoot open, and his eyes are a deeper golden now, and he like sits up and like unnaturally like twists his head to look at you both, growls, and promptly jumps out one of your windows.
I see. That will no longer be a problem. Okay.
Glass everywhere. Blood everywhere.
And Kavi, when he turned his eyes to you, you saw that they were very similar to the eyes of the drawing. If a drawing could like capture details that the drawings did, and your brain is like processing all this information, and you're making these notes that there's something like, and you think, I need to get Ezra back in my lab, but I also need to get one of these monsters.
It's unfortunate that we couldn't capture him. And,
that's unfortunate. Sorry.
Because I think that I don't know. I might get more information, but are you okay, Baako?
No more than this. This has been a surprising day, strange turn of events. And that is that. This is the world we live in. Nothing is safe. And that is how it is.
Yes. Well, can't disagree with that. I mean, what has happened. But I think that there are a lot of clues in this little book, a lot of information that can be deduced, and perhaps once I gather and I decode everything, I'll be able to come up with a plan. But I would like your help in this. It does seem like you have certain skills that I do not have, and of course a whole group of knowledge that I do not have. But I think that together we can figure this all out. And perhaps Ezra can give us another piece of that puzzle.
Bobby, you also hear kind of a whisper or a thought to the blood. I need to get a sample of the blood. And there's plenty now for you to take.
Yes. Yeah, I think I'll get a sample of this blood, and Kavi pulls out a glass vial, which they seem to often have with them for collecting. And Kavi also has gloves to put on so that they do not contaminate the sample, and begins to carefully get some of the substance in. Wow, this was a very productive day. So many things to uncover. I am tingling with excitement at this point. I wanted to just see. I know there's been a lot of information has come on you, Baako, and what information do you need from me? Is there anything else that I can do to be of help?
I do not know what information I need. I just know this is something that will take time. There are more people involved than I thought, but I am unsurprised. And we will have to go through this route so I can ensure revenge is taken for my family, and especially for my uncle.
Yes, I'm not sure that there is a way to reverse what has been done. There might be a way to slow it down, but there's a lot more that I need to uncover. This has been a very pleasant evening. Full of excitement and great wealth of knowledge. And I will be in touch once I gather the necessary report.
Yes, let me know as soon as you do.
All right. If there is nothing else, then I will take my leave then.
And as Kavi walks off into the night down the cobble street walkways and alleys, a creature with golden eyes is following. Kavi can sense something, but every time they look over behind them, they don't see anything. Baako is cleaning their house and made quick work of boarding up the window and is cleaning up. Can also feel that they're being watched. They don't see anything now, though, but they know that they knows that it's something like Z's uncle. And there's similar monsters watching the Den of Vices. But it's not clear if the people there know they're being watched.
Add something.
Mm-hmm.
Also, everyone has been hearing over the last few days, but especially in the Den of Vices, the Queen's Head. There's some talk about some pretty gruesome murders and bodies being found, and some of the more chivalrous and strong and brave of the group are offering to help walk people home and stuff. But people are starting to talk about strange things happening in the city, and it's not feeling safe, and it's kind of like this nervous energy in the den and at the Queen's Head. People are definitely avoiding their fears.
Gunther calls out to the others, I'll protect you.
Okay, and scene. And scene.
New favorite character. Yes.
Hey, we got 3 scenes in.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty
We're
good.
like some good, like
Yeah. That was
strong. Yeah. I liked it. It was fun. Yeah. Gunther.
I just couldn't resist. I really couldn't.
It was pretty
No,
good.
if anyone understands, I understand. Awesome. That was fun.
Yes.
It was good.
Okay. Man. Who wants to start the debrief? Not it.
I'll go. So the first question is, let's do, I'm going to answer the first question, and then I think everyone else should answer the first question, and then I think we should go to the next one.
Oh, okay.
So the first question is, as your character, answer, what was something you were scared or afraid of this session, and can it be overcome? Ezra's clearly very terrified of the beast and how out of control that makes her feel. And is deeply fearful that it can't be overcome and people they care about will hurt because of it. Ezra's.
This would be natural for Persephone to answer next. Something she's scared of or afraid of this session is losing Ezra to either her vices or the beast or her guilt and shame. And she's also she's a bit afraid of intimacy too. That's a little scary depending upon another person. And she's really trying to prove that she can do this all on her own. Can it be overcome? Yeah. Like, feelings are hard. Just got to deal with them. Sorry. Not to make light. It probably can be overcome.
I think for Kavi, I think that Kavi is afraid that they won't be able to solve enough of the puzzle to really make a difference with what's going on. Because Kavi has like a larger picture of what's happening, and if they had a lot more time, they would feel like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be able to do this. Like give me 5 years, yeah, I'll figure it out. But the situation that we have now, no, they don't have 5 years. They might not even have a day. They may not even. Yeah, it's kind of difficult what the timeline might be, but it's definitely a lot shorter than what Kavi believes can be done, and it's gonna take so much time. So things are gonna go bad, and Kavi's gonna feel a lot more stressed and under pressure. Can it be overcome? Kavi faces their fear, so I think they're just gonna keep doing the best that they can, because that seems to be the best solution. That's the most logical way to handle it, and that's kind of how Kavi is.
So for Baako, there's fear of the creature in the shadows and also of whoever is controlling slash what we learn making these creatures, and just that continued fear of the lack of safety while all of this is happening in the shadows. And whether or not it can be overcome, don't know, because the fear is something that we know is there, and hopefully over time we will be able to defeat it, but maybe we won't. So that fear might not be able to be overcome.
Okay, so the next question is, what surprised you about today's play? I think we can answer that as a player.
Yeah, I think the last two
Okay.
questions are as player.
That's what I thought. So does anyone want to answer that one first? I'm still thinking. What surprised?
I would say that I was surprised by what Kayla took with the letter, and definitely surprised when the uncle showed up, and
Yeah.
then surprised when his beastly nature came out, and he that all of those things very surprising.
So
So
glad that
like
Kayla did that.
yes, like when we came back to the Baako and Kavi scene, like I had it in my head, like I guess some like processing things, some like thoughtful things or something, like some kind of intimate moments like came to my head. And then it was like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Just scratch it all. And that's fine. But yeah, I was definitely surprised about that. And I think I'll just go ahead and answer the next question.
Yeah, go for it.
What did you appreciate about your play or someone else's play today? I would say what I appreciate about my play today was doing Gunther, of course.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, I really like playing a guy with a cigar. and clearly some lung issues.
Yeah.
And something that I appreciated about today, I would say that Jesse did a fantastic job with the setting. Thank you so much. Super appreciate it. I think it was awesome. I especially liked when Rowan came in and just like stood in their way and made things awkward and uncomfortable and definitely a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
And then busted in on there just as they're embracing, and who knows what else could have happened. But then Rowan shows up.
Perfect dramedy.
Yes. So it was awesome. I loved it.
Thank you. And I guess I can go next. What surprised me about today's play is just where things are going, because like I still have no clue where anything is going, and it's
I got some ideas.
Do too.
But it's like fun building that mystery and like
Yes.
being surprised that the family member's still alive, because that's always great. And just rolling with the punches with that.
Mhm.
And then what did I appreciate about my play or someone else's play? I really appreciate Halle and Kayla just letting me play Rowan and interrupt everything, because I didn't expect that, but that's what felt right at the moment, and
Rowan was great.
rolled with it really well.
Rowan was great.
I might have to draw Rowan because I have so many ideas. Did you answer all the questions?
Yes.
I can go. What surprised me about today's play? The unopened letter, followed by the person who wrote the letter showing up immediately. Like, it felt very like something about this session had so many great like serious beats with like quick little interludes, and I love that you guys let me do my little bit about the warranty. And like then we nixed it. That's in the bloopers or whatever cutscenes. But
Yeah.
I like that you guys were letting me do that. So, but so like I just thought it felt like those 20-minute like serial dramas where you have to fit so much into a short amount of time, but like you just go with it because you have to, and it felt awesome.
I really personally like when Belonging Outside Belonging hits like a lot of beats, because then it feels like a lot's happening, and then there's like tension and intensity, and
like I had no clue what was going to happen today, so usually I do a lot more prep for sessions and stuff, but I'm like learning to let that go, and so literally the whole thing was a surprise. But I'm really liking. I like we've got like this like grim dark mystery, like Scotland Yard mystery supernatural thing going on with in the background, but then there's also this like romantic comedy over here, and then like this like I love it so much.
Kind of like
Sorry,
science-y thing. No, I think it's really
yeah.
I agree.
What did I appreciate about my play? The thing I think I'm getting a handle on the tokens better. Like so, like I'm kind of liking that. I'm like trying to. Sometimes I take things really literally when I read them, so it is hard with Belonging Outside Belonging games to like kind of shift the words so that it fits like your circumstance. Like Jesse is like a pro at this, but I did get up to 5 tokens, so I'm excited.
Do you
about
still
that.
have all 5?
Oh well, like I went up and down a bunch. I started with 2, and then so I just channeled my Jesse,
love it,
my inner Jesse, and so I like that I'm getting a hang. I'm not as scared by the mechanics. And someone else's play, I really like. Malcolm made a couple comments in the chat about Kavi and Baako's role play. That was pretty great. Baako like being so intense, like but answer the questions, and Kavi being evasive and suspicious. That was great. Like I like because I know Tennille, and that's not how she is normally. So very sus. But
Yeah.
with everything that happened, they actually opened up a little bit more and were more willing to maybe share their secrets, I think, near the end. Or at least get knowledge and pretend to share the secrets. I don't know.
Lara thinks Kavi is sus. Sure.
Kavi is sus.
Uh-oh. Okay. What?
Oh,
What?
I have ideas. Sorry.
Okay. No,
Don't worry
I mean,
about it.
I have ideas too.
I'm gonna be a
I'm
setting.
so glad
next
the
time.
audience loves Gunther as much as I do.
Gunther's great.
Everyone loves Gunther.
So, what surprised me about today's play? So, I was fully going into the Persephone and Ezra scene. I was planning on taking the inhibited move, pick a fight, or drive someone away to protect myself. To protect them. And then I was like, I don't really want to fight with Persephone. I was like, I don't think I want to do that. I don't think Ezra wants to do that. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So I tried to go a different route.
I think she was trying to pick a fight too.
Yeah.
I had an
But I was
idea
I
of
didn't wanna,
like
hurt Persephone's feelings. So I was like,
Aw.
I have to figure this out.
I had an idea of having one of the NPCs like hit on Persephone or something. But
well, so I mean, there are ways. Those are also some of Ezra's moves. I also was like, is Tennille trying to like have Ezra pick a fight with Gunther? But then the scene went in a different direction, so it worked out. But
yeah, that could have worked too.
Yeah, there was a variety of ways. What did you appreciate about your play or someone else's play? So I actually thought I was very big brained when I was like, let's cliffhanger and hand to a different scene and then come back. Very proud of myself for that. And what did I appreciate? And then I appreciated how Halle chose to play Persephone today. Because I think it forced Ezra to not just like shrug things off. So yeah, we still have a little bit of time if we want to answer the other two questions, about the bottom two questions. If we wanted to answer those questions, we could.
Yeah, I really like the last one.
Yeah.
So, what surprised you regarding someone else's decision? I don't know if anyone has something in mind in particular that they kind of want to know someone's thinking behind a decision they made. We talked about it a little bit, but I think that it's fun getting
like more in depth
to the why.
Yeah. Do you have something in mind?
I kind of like, I guess, yeah. So Kayla, why did you make the letter what you made it? Because that changed the whole scene. That could have been like he could have written anything in that letter and he wrote like, so why did you choose that?
Well, I forgot what I wrote. Part of it was improv. Part of it was like totally improv. But another part of it was I really wanted to play with the monsters and try to bring them in as a potential threat, and also tried to build some connection between Kavi's research and what the Anka was doing, so that there could be a reason to try to pull Kavi in more. Because then I was thinking like, oh, maybe we can and then that kind of built on how I was thinking about how the monsters potentially relate to Ezra.
I think that you like were successful in what you, because like I see like endless possibilities with Kavi and Baako and Ezra and I'm even coming up with ideas for like Persephone's got to find a way in there too, because Persephone hasn't had a scene with Kavi yet.
No.
And
I have
that's
ideas. I have ideas for like the end game now because of
Mm-hmm.
all of our stuff. So I think it'll be great. We'll have to talk, all of us. But yeah, that's where I like started it, and then I was like, "Oh, this sounds cool," and then improv'd the whole thing.
And then the uncle shows up. It was very soap opera-y.
So that's
love it.
That was both of those things were actual moves of the one is like an aesthetic of the sins of the past, and the other one's an actual move of the sins of our past. So I initially was gonna have like Baako go into like an actual physical flashback where Baako like actually flashes back, but that's not where Jesse and Kavi started. So I went with that and just did. I think it turned out really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, Jesse. What were you thinking when Kavi was persuading you to open that letter, and like, what do you think like ultimately had Baako decide to see the contents?
So, still a little loud here, but a look
It's not that loud to us though. So
okay, that's good. So I guess a little look into my process of I don't think so it's just a lot of in this moment what feels like the best decision. And so it's like, okay, right now, what is the best decision? I can't think of any flaws with Kavi's argument. I don't want to move forward, or I want to, okay. Let me go through the thought process was, okay, Baako wants to know more about what happened with their family, but also doesn't want to let go of all of the feelings of anger. But maybe there is something in this letter. Kavi brings up a good point. I guess I will open the letter. So that was my thought process. So that was what felt right at that moment.
Yeah. It was good.
Sounds great. Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering how you felt, Jesse, when like basically like the uncle shows up and he's like, I wasn't involved in your families. Like I didn't even like this is like literally I'm just losing them now because I didn't know. How did that feel?
That was a lot because so as a player, what I wanted to do is like, okay, start a fight and win a fight. It's like this is where I need to go. Someone has popped up. That's what I want to do. Oh, that's not the right move for right now. Oh, you had nothing to do with this. Oh, I gotta pivot.
So we all wanted to start fights.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Sounds like there's some angst in like maybe we'll have what is it? The climax of the story in the next episode?
Probably.
Or well, no, it should be in the third or fourth.
Well, we have 1.5 more sessions. We have
we're
one
gonna
full
play
session left. Yeah. We're gonna have to split the last session in half. Like half is game and half is debrief. I don't.
Yes, the only thing I'll say for Kavi is that during that scene when Kavi was trying to persuade Baako, they were really trying to show a sense of passion and compassion at the same time. And I don't know how well that was received, but that was the intensity in the moment of just trying to gain that extra information. So that was probably one of my favorite parts of playing Kavi today's session.
And actually, I'm kind of interested with like Persephone and Ezra, the moment they were having in the middle of the Queen's head in front of everyone. Like, what was that thought process?
So there's definitely some player bleed going on my end. Like I would say, but more like personal life coming into bleed, and like, when tensions are high and like you just don't care who sees what you're doing. And she's young. She is young and dramatic, like, and I am definitely reliving my 20-year-old self a little bit. And so that's, yeah. And also I wasn't certain how to get Persephone to interact with Ezra in the scene due to Ezra being like she was playing cards with other regulars and drunk. And so I'm just like, Persephone's pissed. You're hanging
Yeah.
around her place of work just drinking. And so she was done. So I definitely put on some acting shoes for a second, I think. And I was really trying to figure out how to get, like, whether it made sense to have the scene unfold in front of everyone or try to get them to a secluded spot. But one of my moves is secluded spot. I'm wondering what you were thinking, Kayla.
I thought it would make for an interesting consequences if it had played out. All of it had played out in public. Because
There
initially
still
I
could be
was
consequences.
no, for sure, yeah. I think, which is why I brought up the fact that like most people read Ezra as male. But I was trying to. There was. There was
You said you were
one
trying
of
to do the pick the fight to
yeah. So
like
I was
protect
trying.
someone.
I initially had done that one, and then was attempting to. There was one other one I was attempting to do, um, but then I was like, well, we'll see what happens here. Maybe who knows if we have this conversation in public, that might be interesting. So that's where I was thinking for that. That's what I was thinking.
I anticipate some consequences from Rowan, probably.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that was what I was thinking. Yeah. There was something
yeah.
else I
I'm
had.
sorry if I messed up anyone's plans because I'm just like, oh, that looks like a thing I can do right now. Let's do it.
No, I mean well
That's how
that's
games work.
how belonging outside belonging works. It That's the whole point of the moves. To
It
drive the narrative and the story and create new narrative and new tension.
Yeah, and create it
exactly.
together too,
Mhm.
which I think is really great. Like there isn't just one
Yeah.
mastermind,
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
I've learned to come up with ideas and
Yeah.
scrap them.
Pretty much.
And
Yeah.
roll with it and see what happens. And
Mhm.
it's really kind of cool, but even things that you have in your head, sometimes like they turn out completely different, but doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. Sometimes it's even better than what you would have thought of.
Like that's a really good metaphor for life, but also like coming back to like our professions or former professions, like how many times do you sit down and you plan a session for a client or a family or a couple and you don't use any of it because
Happens a lot.
you're not prepared for what they bring into the session. Like
Mhm.
for
You're not going to know, really.
yeah, so you can
Yeah.
prepare all you want, but it's really you
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
have to be ready for whatever they bring in. And
I just stopped preparing.
right? Well, sometimes I'll get like 2 games if I'm working with kids. I'll get a couple games and whatever they're ready for. And then
Mhm.
we don't touch it and we do artwork.
Mhm.
That's great.
I
It's all about being in the moment, right? Like being
yeah.
present.
Yeah.
And that's what belonging outside of belonging games too are is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be present.
I am wondering if the audience has a question or has a
Yeah.
question for if they're wanting to know what drove our decisions tonight.
Do you guys have any questions for us? I mean, Menachem has what are RPGs but soap operas? Accurate. We have a lot of good quotes from this session too.
There was some good stuff, yeah. There
I
was
liked
some good
Kavi's.
stuff.
That's unfortunate that we couldn't capture him. Well, that happened.
Kavi had some interesting comments to say regarding, how when Baako like emotionally reacts and just
yeah,
punching a wall. That's gonna hurt your hand.
yes.
Did not
Wondering,
think about that.
are there other punches, other holes in the wall nearby?
Probably, but also Baako can go find people to punch outside of the home.
Yeah. So we have an audience question, which we'll answer this, and then we'll do our ritual. Was today's session informed by it being Halloween for you? If so, how?
For me, I made myself get a little bit more dressed up, I would say. But otherwise, we didn't even know if we'd have trick-or-treaters and stuff. But I was like, you bought this, so you should get a little dressed up. I almost wore a wig, but it was too hot, so I couldn't do it. So I think maybe we might have played up some of the monsters more, but I don't know. I wasn't a big part of that, so
I would say no. Grand Guignol it's an amazing role play game. Just just looking over the play kits and the directions. It's just very well organized, very well done. And the theme is consistent throughout all of it. And I think just following it, these things are just going to happen. It's a horror type game. So I don't think that because today's Halloween that had anything to do with my play specifically. I'm just following the theme of the game, which is amazing, and I do love horror. So,
You.
yes,
Yeah,
it's amazing after Punk Pride Pixies.
yeah, it's
that
so
was your
different.
baby, and I love it. Sorry, Jesse.
Yes.
yeah. I was just also gonna say no, not really. I love Halloween. I cosplay, so I love putting on costumes, doing all of that stuff. But this year and last year had nothing really planned for Halloween, didn't have any costumes to make, didn't have any of that. So the thing I did was do makeup and hair for an outfit for this, but I would have done that for the stream even if it wasn't Halloween. So it's just kind of not that much informed other than a creepy game, which was picked for the spooky month, but
Spooky month.
Spooky month.
So nothing specifically, but it has been fun.
One of our viewers says that Holly is too hot for the wig.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice of you. Sure. And I put a bunch of laughing emojis.
Yeah, I don't think I just liked the ideas of putting them on, trying to tie the monsters in more and try to get some some actual threads that we could close out that weren't just interpersonal.
I'm excited. I'm so excited, you guys.
Yeah, I think it gave some pretty interesting directions to go in.
I just want to say I love everyone's
Thank you,
virtual
Nina.
backgrounds. It's
Yeah, we'll do
beautiful.
it. We can do the. I think we can keep it.
Anything
Hmm.
before we do our saying goodbye to our players
Oh, I don't have anything.
or characters? Saying goodbye to our characters.
Yes, that's right. You got it.
Okay. I played Persephone Mara the Gate.
Hi, Persephone.
Hi,
Hi,
Persephone.
Persephone.
I am Halle.
Goodbye, Halle.
Bye,
Hi,
Halle.
Halle.
I'm Ezra.
Hi, Ezra.
Hi, Ezra.
Ezra.
Or hi.
And I'm Kayla.
Good night,
Night,
Kayla.
Kayla.
Yeah. I'm Baako,
Good night, Baako.
Good night,
See ya, Baako.
Baako.
and I'm Jessie.
Good night, Jesse.
Good night, Jesse.
Jesse.
I played Kavi today.
Good night, Kavi.
Good night,
Kavi.
Kavi.
And I'm Tennille.
Sweet dreams to
Good
you.
night.
Night to
Tennille.
Daniel.
Good night.
All right.
Okay.
Good night, everyone. Check us out next week. Don't forget Friday, playing Wander Home, Friday night. Then Saturday, special live stream. Days of Our Lives. Women are werewolves.
Women are werewolves.
Right.
That's
Okay.
going to be fun. You won't want to miss it.
You
Okay.
won't.
So find out next time, maybe, what was Bako's uncle Samuel involved in? Where did the creatures with the glowing eyes and unnatural strength come from? Can Kavi discover what causes Ezra's transformation? Is there a cure? And will Ezra and Persephone rent a U-Haul next episode? This has been the gaze of our lives. Like dice through the dice tower. These are the gaze of our lives.
Bye.
Thanks. Good night, everybody.